Yo, what is up, guys? It's Cone. I've been waiting to make this video since Harden had his meltdown last night at the press conference. I released that video yesterday, and then today a bunch of trade rumors are coming out. But James Harden has moved to the Brooklyn Nets for an insane package, which also includes Karis LeVert going to the Pacers, Victor Oladipo going to the Rockets, Jarrett Allen going to the Cavs for some reason. Like, there's so much going on in here, so I'm going to try and convey it all because it's a lot. So we'll start out with like the base trade, which was the James Harden to the James Harden to the Nets. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. This all is happening at once. James Harden to the Nets to join up with Kyrie and KD. That's an insane trio. They should be considered finals favorites, in my opinion. If this team doesn't win the finals, or at least make a push to the finals, I consider them one of the biggest disappointments in NBA history. Because when you have those three players, which are all like top 15, depending on where you put Kyrie, and like you have two top like 4 or 5-ish players, maybe six, depending on where you put Harden in relation to guys like KD, LeBron, Giannis, whatever. When you have that much talent on that team, there's no excuses. I don't care who's there. I know that like people are going to say there's only one ball, but there's also only one ball for that Warriors team with Kevin Durant, and it didn't matter. They were unstoppable. This team has so much talent. It's ridiculous. I'm glad that the Thunder aren't trying to compete right now because that team is scary as hell. And I would, if the Thunder were a finals contending team and we had to face them in the finals, I'd be terrified. I'd be like, all right, we're going to lose. But on the other side of things, the Rockets get 4 first-round picks, which is a huge haul. 4 pick swaps too. That's more than Sam Presti got for the Paul George trade, which is ridiculous. You throw in there that the Rockets are now not getting Karis LeVert. He's going to Indiana, and the Pacers are sending Victor Oladipo to the Rockets, making John Wall and Victor Oladipo, which is a pretty fun backcourt, a little bit washed up backcourt. It might have been more fun a couple years ago, but the that whole situation kind of helps OKC, which I'll talk about in a second because I want to finish going through all the details of the trade. The Cavs are getting Jarrett Allen, Taurean Prince. Cool for the Cavs getting Jarrett Allen. I don't know where he fits with Andre Drummond. I wonder if Drummond is going to get moved somewhere else because I would want to put Jarrett Allen in there to try and let him work. But that's a huge pickup for them, in my opinion, for the future. So shout out to them. Rockets also, in addition to Oladipo, get Dante Exum, Rodions, Karuks, which doesn't matter too much. Like, those are okay pieces. But the reason this is also beneficial for the Thunder is that having Victor Oladipo come back to them helps them stay a little bit relevant. It gives Victor Oladipo a chance to try and play back into that role. And I'm hoping Victor Oladipo comes back because the Rockets, their pick belongs to us, but it's top 4 protected. So if that pick falls outside the top 4, we get it. So they can't be too bad, which is why I was afraid of a Nets trade, because I was worried that, oh, Karis LeVert, John Wall, I don't know how good that team is. They might be a bottom 4 team, which would end up having their pick most likely be in that bottom 4 section in the lottery, which would end up hurting Oklahoma City because then we don't get that pick. But now, I think that this team could be good enough to maybe fall out of that top 4, end up with like a 5-6 pick, which would be amazing for the Thunder. So Sam Presti could potentially again win with this. But back to the trade. On the Pacers side, I think I like this. Victor Oladipo, it seems like he's wanted out for a while, and he just doesn't seem like the Victor Oladipo of old. So you want to try and move him now, and getting Karis LeVert from is a huge pickup, in my opinion. A team that the Pacers have looked amazing so far, even without Oladipo being hurt sometimes, so they've been playing without him. So now you adding Karis LeVert to that situation, this Pacers team's kind of nice. I believe I've talked about all sides of this trade. There's just so much going on, like I keep saying. Things keep coming out. I wanted to record this like while stuff could drop, so that I could keep giving you my reactions to things. The Pacers also get a second rounder. Shams just tweet out like the entire trade. On the Rockets side of things, the 3 Brooklyn first rounders are in 2022, 2024, and 2026. The 2026 one, that's the key one, because by then guys are going to be off the books, and that's when Brooklyn could start being bad again if they decide to leave like 1, 2, or all 3 of their stars. A Milwaukee first for 2022, that's not really a huge deal. Giannis is signed long-term, so it doesn't matter. If Giannis hadn't signed long-term, that pick would be huge, but it doesn't matter that much right now. And then 4 pick swaps in 21, 23, 25, 27. Nets get James Harden, Karis LeVert in the second rounder to the Pacers, Jarrett Allen, and Taurean Prince to the Cavs. That's the whole trade. It's a lot to digest. Like I said, I think the Nets, they have to win the finals now, or it's going to be super disappointing. It's going to be interesting to see that team, how they manage together, but oh my god, they're going to be so much fun. Um, This is ridiculous. Shout out to the Rockets for pulling the trigger. They needed to. I thought it was going to be Philly, honestly. I'm kind of so shocked it's Brooklyn and not Philly, but this is crazy. It's a good day to be an NBA fan. I love when stuff like this happens. It shakes the league up a little bit, keeps things interesting. And that Nets team, I'm gonna have to watch all their games now because they might very well win the title. This honestly mostly hurts the East teams like Philly. I think this hurts bad because I don't think the Sixers stand a chance against this Nets team, even though they were looking really good. I just don't know how you stop them. Like, obviously, Embiid can go off, Ben Simmons can play really well, but it's so hard to keep up with the scoring of Kyrie, Harden, and Durant. That scoring's insane. Plus, they kept Dinwiddie, who is supposed to be out this season, but there is a chance, since it was only a partial tear of his ACL, that he could come back for a playoff run. I don't think he'll end up will, but if he does, that makes him even scarier because they kept him. They've still got solid pieces too, like a Bruce Brown, a Landry Shamet, still got DeAndre Jordan. So they still have some like quality pieces around those guys, and they have those guys. This might be the most talented big three we've ever seen in the history of the NBA because these guys are like there's so much talent there. It'll just be interesting to see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, and this team sucks because they can't all handle the ball together. But if part of me is right, this team is going to win the chip. Right now, I think the Brooklyn Nets might be my. I want to wait a little bit on it to make sure I'm not overreacting in the moment. But I think my championship pick might now be the Brooklyn Nets. It's definitely going to be a Lakers Nets finals, though. I don't see any way that doesn't happen unless something drastic changes, like another big trade happens or something. I don't see any way that the Nets and Lakers don't face off in the finals, and I think that would be massive for the league. I think the league is going to be so hype if that happens because the ratings are going to be through the roof to see LeBron face off against AD, see Kyrie go up against LeBron too. Like there are so many narratives. Harden trying to get his first ring. Um, Anthony Davis obviously is just a draw in himself. There's so much to think about and talk about there. I can't wait for it. I hope it happens. I'd love to see it. It'd be good from a basketball fan standpoint and just like a league standpoint. I think that'd be a great way for them to make back some of the money that they've been losing because I think everyone would tune into that. With that being said, I think that's everything with this trade. There's so much going on, so there's maybe something I forgot. Let me know what you think about the trade in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that type of stuff. I just want to see if there's any other opinions. Do you think that this Nets team could win the championship? Do you think that they are a championship contender? Do you think that I'm overreacting and that they really won't all be able to handle the ball? Let me know what you're saying. But with that, I will see you guys later. Real one say back.